12 beautiful fairy tale castles in Europe. Europe's castles stand as symbols of power, wealth, and imagination, built by kings and queens over centuries to rule, protect, and display their might. From medieval fortresses to royal palaces, these breathtaking castles, set in stunning landscapes, tell stories of royalty, war, and myth. In this documentary, we'll delve deep into the history and architecture of 12 of Europe's most beautiful fairy tale castles. Each castle weaves its own tale, blending legend with reality. Castle 1, Neuschwanstein Castle, Germany. Neuschwanstein Castle, often considered the quintessential fairy tale castle, was commissioned by King Ludwig II of Bavaria in the 19th century. Ludwig, known as the Fairy Tale King, envisioned a retreat inspired by the romanticism of medieval castles. Neuschwanstein was built not as a military fortress, but as an embodiment of Ludwig's artistic and architectural dreams. While it never served as a defense structure, the castle's towers and battlements evoke the idealized image of a medieval fortress. History and cultural significance. Scenes depicting the castle's construction, with illustrations and period architecture. Though Ludwig intended Neuschwanstein as his personal refuge, he would never live to see its completion. He died under mysterious circumstances in 1886, leaving behind a legacy of castles that represent his passion for myth, art, and architecture. Today, Neuschwanstein is one of the most visited castles in the world, admired for its romantic charm and stunning views over the Alps. Architecture and design, shots of the interiors, including the throne room and singers' hall. The architecture of Neuschwanstein combines Gothic, Romanesque, and Byzantine influences. The throne room, with its grand mosaics and chandeliers, reflects Ludwig's fascination with medieval kingship. In contrast, the singers' hall is reminiscent of Wagner's operas, which deeply inspired Ludwig. Castle 2, Château de Chambord, France. Château de Chambord is a symbol of the French Renaissance. Built by King Francis I in the 16th century, it was designed as both a hunting lodge and a demonstration of the king's power and wealth. With over 400 rooms, 80 staircases, and a distinctive double helix staircase, Chambord reflects the king's ambition to create something grand and monumental. Historical context. Scenes illustrating Francis I's reign and Renaissance influences. The castle was heavily influenced by Italian Renaissance architecture, and Leonardo da Vinci himself may have contributed to its design. Though it was never completed during Francis I's lifetime, Chambord stands as a masterpiece of royal architecture, a blend of French medieval traditions and Renaissance ideals. Cultural significance. The Château de Chambord was not a residence but a symbol of royal prestige. It was a place to entertain foreign dignitaries and the French court, serving as a testament to the king's wealth and the artistic achievements of the French Renaissance. Castle 3, Eilean Castle, Scotland. Eilean Castle, strategically located where three sea locks meet, was built in the 13th century to protect Scotland from Viking invasions. Over the centuries, the castle was expanded, besieged, and eventually destroyed. It lay in ruins for nearly 200 years before being restored in the early 20th century. Military history and restoration, scenes depicting medieval battles, Viking raids, and the eventual restoration by the McRae family. Throughout its history, Eilean played a critical role in the defense of the Scottish Highlands. It was a key stronghold during the Jacobite rebellions in the 18th century, but after a devastating bombardment, it was left in ruins. In the 20th century, Lieutenant Colonel John McRae Gilstrap painstakingly restored the castle, bringing it back to its former glory. Cultural significance. Today, Eilean is not only a symbol of Scottish resilience, but also a popular filming location, featured in numerous movies and TV shows. Its picturesque location adds to its mystical, fairy tale-like quality. Castle 4, Penha Palace, Portugal. Penha Palace is a vivid display of romanticism, a style that embraced the aesthetic of nature, imagination, and emotion. Built by King Ferdinand II in the mid-19th century, The palace sits atop the Sintra Hills, overlooking Lisbon and the Atlantic Ocean. Its bright colors and eclectic mix of architectural styles make it one of the most distinctive castles in Europe. Architectural style and symbolism, the palace reflects a fusion of Moorish, Gothic, Manuelan, and Renaissance styles, representing Portugal's diverse cultural heritage. King Ferdinand's vision was to create a fantastical, dreamlike structure, and his artistic influence is evident in every corner of the palace, from its tilework to its grand courtyards. Cultural impact. Penha Palace became a symbol of the Portuguese monarchy's revival in the 19th century. It was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and today, it is one of the 7 wonders of Portugal, admired for its beauty and historical importance. Castle 5 to 12, additional castles. Each castle gets approximately 4-6 minutes, focusing on historical significance, key events, architecture, and unique features. Hohenzollern Castle, Germany, ancestral home of the Prussian royal family, blending military design with picturesque beauty. Alcazar of Segovia, Spain, a fortress that became the residence of Castilian kings, with a unique ship-like structure. Conwy Castle, Wales, a massive fortress built to maintain English rule over Wales, representing medieval military might. Trakai Island Castle, Lithuania, a red brick castle on an island, central to Lithuanian defense against the Teutonic Order. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland, a volcanic stronghold with a rich history of warfare, royal ceremonies, and Scottish national identity. Bran Castle, Romania, often linked with the Dracula legend, this Gothic castle has a mysterious and dark appeal. Burg Eltz, Germany, a hidden gem. Burg Eltz is an untouched medieval castle that survived through peaceful times and turbulent wars. Prejama Castle, Slovenia, a unique fortress built into a cave, with a legend of a knight who used the caves to escape capture. Closing scene, these castles stand as a testament to Europe's turbulent history, artistic achievements, and royal legacies. From the misty highlands of Scotland to the sun-drenched hills of Portugal, each one tells a story of kings and queens, warriors and architects. As the sun sets on these majestic fortresses, we are reminded of their timeless beauty and the tales that continue to inspire generations. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Europe's 12 most beautiful fairy tale castles. Castle 6, Alcazar of Segovia, Spain. Rising dramatically from a rocky crag, the Alcazar of Segovia is one of Spain's most distinctive castles. Its strategic location made it an ideal fortress, and its distinctive shape, resembling the prow of a ship, adds to its uniqueness. Originally built as a military fortress in the 12th century, it later became a royal palace and a symbol of the Castilian monarchy. Historical and architectural significance. Scenes of the castle's Gothic and Moorish interiors, including grand halls and its iconic towers. The Alcazar served as the royal residence for King Alfonso VIII and many subsequent monarchs. During the reign of Queen Isabella I, it became the launching point for her marriage to Ferdinand of Aragon, a union that would unite Spain. The castle's design features Gothic and Moorish influences, reflecting Spain's diverse cultural heritage. Cultural importance. Over the centuries, the Alcazar has been a royal palace, a military academy, and a state prison. Today, it stands as a symbol of Spain's medieval past, drawing visitors from around the world who marvel at its architectural grandeur and its role in shaping Spanish history. Castle 7, Conwy Castle, Wales, built by Edward I of England in the 13th century, Conwy Castle is a fortress of immense strength and grandeur. It was constructed as part of Edward's campaign to conquer Wales and assert English dominance over the region. Its massive walls, 8 towers, and strategic location along the River Conwy made it one of the most impressive military fortifications of its time. Military architecture, shots of the castle's defensive walls, towers, and the interior layout designed for protection during sieges. Conwy Castle was designed to withstand prolonged sieges. Its thick walls, high towers, and gatehouses made it virtually impenetrable. Edward's strategy was to build a series of fortresses throughout North Wales to suppress rebellion and secure English control. Historical role and legacy. Despite its military origins, Conwy Castle later played a role in the Wars of the Roses and served as a royal garrison. Today, it stands as one of the best preserved medieval fortifications in Europe, a reminder of the turbulent history between England and Wales. Castle 8. Trakai Island Castle, Lithuania. Trakai Island Castle, set on a small island in Lake Galve, is one of the most picturesque castles in Europe. Built in the 14th century by the Grand Dukes of Lithuania, it played a crucial role in defending the region from the Teutonic Knights, who sought to expand their influence into Lithuanian territory. Historical and military importance. Scenes showing the castle's defensive features and its location on the island, which made it difficult for invaders to attack. Trakai's location, surrounded by water, provided a natural defense, making it nearly impossible for enemy forces to mount an effective siege. The castle became a symbol of Lithuanian resistance and independence, as well as the power of the Grand Duchy during the Middle Ages. Cultural legacy. Over the centuries, Trakai fell into disrepair but was meticulously restored in the 20th century. Today, it's a symbol of Lithuanian heritage and a popular destination for tourists, who are drawn to its fairy tale-like setting and rich history. Castle 9. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland. Perched on a volcanic rock, Edinburgh Castle dominates the skyline of Scotland's capital city. It has played a pivotal role in Scottish history for over 1,000 years. As both a royal residence and a military fortress, it has witnessed countless battles, sieges, and royal ceremonies, making it one of the most important historical sites in Scotland. Historical significance. Scenes from the Great Hall, Crown Room, and other significant areas of the castle, such as the Stone of Destiny and the Crown Jewels. Edinburgh Castle has been at the centre of Scottish political and military life for centuries. It was the home of Scottish kings, including Mary, Queen of Scots, and housed the country's most treasured artifacts, the Crown Jewels and the Stone of Destiny, which were used in the coronation of Scottish monarchs. Military history. Throughout its history, Edinburgh Castle was a key fortress during the Wars of Scottish Independence and later played a role in the Jacobite risings. Today, its iconic cannons, including the famous Mons Meg, and its defensive battlements, provide visitors with a glimpse into Scotland's military past. Castle 10. Bran Castle, Romania. Bran Castle, often associated with the Dracula legend, is a fortress steeped in mystery and intrigue. Built in the 14th century, it served as a strategic defense point against invading Ottoman forces. While its connection to Vlad the Impaler, the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula, is more myth than fact, Bran Castle's Gothic appearance and remote location give it an eerie allure. Gothic architecture and historical role. Shots of the castle's interiors, including its narrow stairways, hidden passages, and grand rooms. The castle's Gothic towers, narrow corridors, and stone walls create an atmosphere of suspense, fueling its reputation as the Dracula Castle. Historically, it served as a royal residence for Queen Marie of Romania in the 20th century and as a fortress during medieval conflicts. Cultural and touristic appeal. Today, Bran Castle is one of Romania's most popular tourist destinations, drawing visitors from around the world fascinated by the Dracula myth and the castle's dark, dramatic history. Castle 11. Burg Eltz, Germany. Tucked away in a lush valley in western Germany, Burg Eltz is a rare example of a medieval castle that has remained largely untouched by war. It has been owned by the same family for over 850 years and is one of the best preserved castles in Europe, showcasing a unique blend of Romanesque and Gothic architecture. Historical preservation. Scenes of the castle's towering spires, courtyards, and well-preserved interiors, including family heirlooms and artifacts. Unlike many European castles that were destroyed or abandoned, Burg Eltz survived centuries of conflict thanks to its remote location and peaceful negotiations. Its interior remains virtually unchanged, offering visitors a glimpse into the life of the noble Eltz family during the Middle Ages. Architectural beauty. The castle's fairy tale appearance, with its tall spires and timber-frame sections, has made it a favorite among photographers and history enthusiasts alike. Burg Eltz remains a symbol of medieval nobility and a testament to architectural longevity. Castle 12, Prejama Castle, Slovenia. Prejama Castle, perched at the entrance of a cave in a towering cliff, is one of the most unique castles in Europe. Built in the 12th century, the castle's location provided both a natural defense and a hidden network of caves that served as escape routes during sieges. Its most famous resident, the knight robber Erasem Lueger, used the cave system to evade capture while continuing his raids against the Habsburg Empire. Defensive architecture and legend, scenes of the castle's cave system, secret passages, and fortified exterior. The natural rock face provided a perfect stronghold, making Prejama nearly impossible to conquer. According to legend, Erasem Lueger's cunning use of the caves allowed him to outsmart his enemies for years before his eventual betrayal. Modern-day appeal. Today, Prejama Castle is a popular tourist destination, attracting visitors who are fascinated by its dramatic setting and its unique blend of nature and human ingenuity. The castle's legend and its connection to the surrounding cave system continue to captivate the imagination. Final reflections, 5-minute segment. As we conclude our journey through the most beautiful fairy tale castles in Europe, one can't help but marvel at the imagination, craftsmanship, and vision that went into their creation. These castles were designed not only as military fortresses or royal residences, but as symbols of power and artistry, reflecting the ambitions of their builders. Over the centuries, they have been witnesses to history, silent observers of the rise and fall of empires, of grand ceremonies, and tragic sieges. Many of these castles have stood the test of time, enduring wars, revolutions, and the passage of centuries. Their walls are imbued with stories of love and loss, triumph and betrayal. They serve as enduring reminders of the artistry, ingenuity, and enduring legacy of their creators. What was once a means of defense and a symbol of status has become an integral part of European cultural identity. Today, these castles are not just historical monuments but living symbols of heritage. They draw millions of visitors every year, each coming to experience the beauty, mystery, and magic of Europe's royal past. From Neuschwanstein's romantic towers to the rugged walls of Conwy, these structures have become bridges between the past and the present. In their stones and spires, we find traces of those who came before us, and in their shadows, we imagine what life might have been like in those times. And so, we leave behind these incredible castles, each one a jewel in Europe's crown of history. Their beauty, their power, and their stories will continue to inspire, enchant, and transport us into the world of kings, queens, and the fairy tales they've become.